Wow.
And so Megan interviewed Randy on her channel about his dealings with the
Alex.
Cox family.
Alex.
Alex.
Alex Cox. Yeah. Randy knew Alex well.
I knew Alex well, and I met his sister Lori, and we went on a kind of a double date. So there's that.
Yeah. Yeah. You can go watch that video on my channel. That was a really fun conversation, despite the subject matter. And my channel members absolutely loved you and insisted that I bring you back on, Randy.
Well, I love them too.
Well, good. So going back to the story, so Stacy died when she was 32. So Melanie was only about 9 years old, maybe closer to 10 years old when Stacy died. And so, and Stacy and Steve's divorce was very contentious. Steve did not like the Coxes and did not want his daughter around them. So he ended up with full custody of Melanie. And it was partially because of Stacy's illnesses at the time. So that divorce happened when Melanie was just 6 years old, I believe. And then, 3.5 years later, Stacy died. And Steve did his very best to keep Melanie away from the Cox family. But Melanie found, I believe, Adam on social media somehow because he was a radio DJ and he was pretty easy to find. So she actually in her teen years got back in touch with the Cox family, and she became very close with Lori. She's very much saw Lori as a mother figure for her. And in June of 2019, Lori convinced Melanie. So Melanie had married Brandon Boudreau. She became Melanie Boudreau. They had 4 children together. They seemed to have a beautiful, idyllic sort of life, at least from what I could see on social media. Brandon seemed like a great father, and Melanie was doing all kinds of things. She went to basic training in the Air Force. She ran marathons. It seemed like they were doing really well, and like she was doing things that were improving her life, and it looked great. And then in June of 2019, she and Brandon filed for divorce. And I later found out that Lori had convinced Melanie that Brandon was gay. And I guess there was an office party, and they had, dressed up in drag and were dancing, just kind of having fun. And Lori convinced Melanie that that absolutely meant that he was gay, and he was involved in all these terrible things with his office, with his coworkers, and convinced Melanie to file for divorce. And so she did in June of 2019.